happening, everybody? Welcome. Something a little different today. We're playing a little Kerbal Space Program. I get re-enthused to pick this game up from time to time, and here I am doing it. So just wanted to try to go a little further than I've ever gone. I've played this game for years and years. I think 2012 or so, when it was still very early access, and I think I paid $8 for it way back when, and just always loved it. Always loved space, and kind of excited to play it again. And it's just been a long while. So, KSP live streams are meant to be kind of chill and relaxed. So I'm just getting my chat and everything up here in front of me so that I can monitor stuff. But here's where we are in this mission. So this is career mode. So there's specific things that I need to do. I have never in this game gone to Jool before. I don't know. I tend to be really good at getting to the moon or Minmus. I'm okay at Duna. I've landed on Eve and its moons and stuff in the past, but I've never actually made it out to Jool, which is a shame, right? Big, beautiful gas giant, kind of cool to go see. And there was a mission that came up in the mission center that said, okay, get a relay out there. So I'm like, cool, I can get a relay out there. So I built a beautiful craft, and here you see it. I got it all the way out to Jool. I got a transfer window set up, and then I did an injection burn and time warped, got all the way here, and was like, cool, now what I've got to do is reach the specific orbit that it wants me to go to. And I was like, all right, well, let's start planning that orbit. So I went to create a maneuver node and start thinking about all that stuff. And that's when I realized I had no control over my spacecraft. So effectively, if you don't play KSP, one of the things you have to account for is transmission distance, right? So I want to get into this apoapsis and periapsis, into this orbit here that is being illustrated. I'm way out here, but on a flyby trajectory. So at this point, you would normally point against your direction of travel, and you would begin to slow down relative to Jool so that you would be captured by its gravity well. And then you do your fine-tuning to get into that orbit. But Kerbin, my home planet, is way back here, right? And so as it stands, the transmitter that I have on this craft is not powerful enough to communicate back. And since I don't have an actual pilot, this is an unmanned probe. Since I don't have an actual Kerbal on board, that means that I cannot control it, right? So I have no control over this vehicle at all because, look, I am not connected. So I could probably run science, I bet. Let's see. Yeah, so I can run science, which is cool. I'll keep that for the moment because I can't transmit it. I'm out of range, right? So my mission here is to fix the communications problem. Now, this satellite, I cannot stop it from its flyby, right? If I can't control it, I can't slow it down. So that means I'm going to need to get another one out there. So what do I do with this one? Well, what I think I'm going to try to do with this one is I'm going to let it do its flyby, and then I'm going to change its orbit to be a solar orbit, right? I want it to go around the star. And I haven't figured out the distance yet. Maybe 30 million meters, 30 billion meters here, or kilometers. I don't know. It's really far out, but I think I want to put it at about that 30, and have it between, or maybe just on the outside of Duna, and see if it maintains a consistent connection with Kerbin there. Then what we're going to do is I have already launched a second mission that is going to do a couple of things. Get to it here. Where is it? Let's go to the tracking station. So I've already launched a second mission that I've called Jool Relay Satellite 2. So the one that's currently out here is Jool Relay Satellite, and this is called Jool Relay Satellite 2, and then I'm going to do a bunch of renaming later. But you'll see that this one, I just modified it, took the fairing off, modified it, gave it a little more fuel. I don't think I need more fuel. The craft that we were just looking at Jool is already a little bit over-fueled versus what it really needs to be. Again, I've never been to Jool, so I kind of overspec the craft by mistake. But you'll see here that instead of just having this probe, this is the one that I want to end up at Jool. and then I'm gonna go out to that 30 million meter orbit, and I'm going to deploy 4 more satellites in roughly that orbit, so that I've got a constant network, a 5-pointed network surrounding surrounding the system, assuming that's the right altitude yet, right? So what we're gonna do today is first, since that bad boy's already in space, I'm not gonna start its transfer yet. And you can see all these green lines, by the way. That's what we're gonna be looking for to see once this one gets back into its correct place. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and time warp to get this thing down to its, down well back into its area there. And I think there's a thing up here, maybe not. Well, I'll be watching this. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and time warp to get out of Joel's sphere of influence here. Bye. Sorry we didn't hang out. There goes Jool. Now, notice the red line. We're just waiting for that red line to turn green. I'm already starting to get some signal strength. So it's like Joel was just barely outside of the sphere of influence. Yeah. I think Joel's orbit is a little bit elliptical anyway, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. That's pretty circular. So you can see that my intercept orbit, where I was going to have to brake, my apoapsis is way too high, right, versus Jool. But I've got this nice almost 30 exactly here. So I'm just going to let it go here. It's going to take a while, but I'm going to let it go whilst, and then while it's falling back toward the sun, I'm going to see if I can't capture it at the right time, sort of at the extremity of its green, right, when it has a good signal. So that's the idea. That's what we're working on. A little bit of a waiting game right now, obviously, because we have a long ways to go. One thing I'm a little bit nervous about is I'm not sure how long I have to complete this contract. So I've now expended the resources. It's career mode, so I've expended the resources to launch 2 missions to satisfy this one contract, and now I find myself suddenly worried that I'm going to run out of time. In fact, let's go look at that Space Center. Let's go look at our missions time frame. This is going to be in-game time. This is going to be a long. I don't think it'll be that long a stream. It's kind of a long one. Position satellite. I've got 25 years to do it. I think that's okay. It's just the distances at play here are pretty dramatic. I had forgotten how much I'd done in this save. Again, I haven't played in quite some time, and I was surprised when I opened it up to see, I had a ship kind of stranded. Actually, there's a ship stranded out here that's just out of fuel. I must have messed up bringing it home. I can't remember. I've got just kind of all kinds of stuff out there. I did a couple of missions already to sort of get back into the game, get going again, and in doing so, I've done some landing in the moon and Minimus. Done a couple of pretty cool missions there, and those have been fun. Good to rediscover the game a little bit, remember how to play it, all the controls and all that stuff. But anyway, I built some really good landers, and those landers, I just sort of left them in space. I recovered the crew and their crew capsules, but I've got landers sitting up there that I don't have to launch now. So They're great for the Moon and Minmus. They wouldn't be great for like Duna. I don't think. I think I'd have to put some more oomph in it for Duna. Man, we're still on the outward trip here. That's crazy. What's that look like from this craft? With the star being so far away. Man, that is way up there. That is way up there. I don't think I'm going to get any NASCAR racing today on TV. It doesn't look like it. It's pretty rainy in Charlotte, which is a bummer. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year for racing. So that's why I wanted to do this. I do have a very important race for me tonight in the Saturday Night Racing League, though. Pretty excited about this. I've been working for quite some time now on a software product that I've been building to help sim racing teams organize all their stuff. And while we are just waiting on the craft here, did I put time? Yeah, time celebrations on. While we're waiting, I might show it to you just real fast if you're curious. But it's called Team Boss. If you go to teamboss.net and click, well, you won't be able to do this yet. I'm thinking about putting like an interactive deal in on the website for people to play with. But you basically have a manager for your team. So your driver roster, it's starting to fall back down now. That's good. Where you at? So you got your driver roster, right? And all the drivers, you have your I ratings, your license levels. If that driver has a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel, you'd be able to save that information there. One of the most important things here is, of course, every driver would have their time zone recorded. That's really important when it comes time for races. So if I were setting up as a team administrator, my Watkins Glen effort, then I can do everything from surveying all my drivers and saying, hey, who wants to drive what car, who's interested in this race, so on and so forth, create custom questions if I want, post that poll to Discord, and then people would take it, and then you would go into the race, review the polls, and set up your teams. So here you can see an example. Like I'm just setting up these three teams. Maybe I'm naming them differently, whatever I want to do, changing what car for this race, what time slot for this race folks are going to drive. And then I'll show you this too real fast. So I can also automatically assign people based on grouping together I ratings or more balanced I ratings if I want equal skill level as much as possible, try to get everyone at the same split. Or if I want to do it based on the best time zone spreads so that fewer people are having to drive late nights, right? So when I do the automatic assignment, for example, let's say we balance I ratings. So 3, I guess we'll reset, and then let's balance I ratings. And you can see here that we've got average I rating of 4,000, 39, 4,000, right? So it took my drivers and just sort of automatically distributed them in such a way that that made it make sense. So check this, guys. Well, it won't have it yet. We're still outside of the orbit of Jool. Okay, that's going to start to accelerate though. All right, next. So once you've done that, and this is something I'm still working on. I'm still pre-launch, but when you're creating a stint schedule, right? I've got some ideas on how to make this even better than it is right now. But you'll be able to add all of the sort of blocks that people might drive, and then you're just going to drag and drop them, and it'll calculate how much time is remaining. It'll allow you to select your fuel options here. If changes happen, if a crash happens or whatever during the race, and you need to adjust the schedule, you'll be able to do all that. So again, this is probably the biggest work in progress piece still. But once you're done with your stint schedules, then you can also copy to sort of the whole team breakdown to your clipboard. You have a checklist to make sure that you do everything correctly for each team in iRacing, and so on, right? And so once you're done, you've got 3 cars running in this race, and we're all excited about it. There will be, I haven't really built this out yet, but there will be a race day tab that as soon as iRacing opens up its API access again. They have shut it down for some undisclosed reason for some time. But the idea is if I have several cars running, that I'll be able to see from telemetry their current position, their starting position, what lap they're on, whether their lap's down, how much time is remaining in their race, that sort of thing. And then if someone on that team is streaming, you'll have access to their streams here. I'm also thinking about some sort of Discord interlacing there, where maybe I can have a Discord chat embedded into the screen. Not sure, but it would be a sort of a dashboard for the team on the race day. You'll also be able to manage all your paints. One of the hardest things about being an admin is simply always fielding the questions of, do we have a paint for whatever, right? And so if I want to know if we've got a paint for the Mustang, I can just start typing in Mustang as any given team member, and oh look, there it is. I click the button, and I'm taken to whoever the painter is for your team. I'm taken to that screen. Similarly for setups, right? If I've got, say, Garage 61 links, I can link to setups here, or I can upload setups if I just want to have my own private file. Like I can totally see an esports team wanting to use it that way, right? So let's check our comms here. Still limited. And then yeah, a streams dashboard as well. So I've still got more ideas, things that I want to do, but that's a general walkthrough of what this thing's going to be. A lot of drag and drop, very modern. It's just meant to help those team admins as well as drivers not have to ask the questions and find stuff, right? It's just a matter of being able to get things for yourself really easily. Okay, we're getting in range here. So we're going to hit the brakes on the time acceleration in a minute while we think about what our orbit needs to be. Right now we're coming up on 50. 50 billion meters. Getting happier, getting happier. I'm not sure if it's going to have to be inside the orbit of Duna or not. Like that's sort of the big question that I don't have an answer to yet. I thought that the distance rating for these antennae were something like 33 or 34 megameters, and so I want to say that I don't need to be inside the orbit of Duna. I want to be sort of outside. I want to be in between Duna and Jool. Here we go. Now it's starting to come up. Getting better. Okay, so we got some green now, and that is happening at 30. Yeah, okay. So why don't we go ahead and circularize at 30? How much fuel is that going to take? Let's go there. We'll circularize this bad boy, and then we'll elevate our other ship out to 30 as well. We will go ahead and circularize those, and again, not a perfect star pattern or anything. I'm not trying to do something aesthetic, but just try to get everything lined-ish, up-ish. 1,300 meters per second, so that'll expend this entire stage, which is fine. I've got way more fuel than I need here. Let's point at our maneuver node and do the things. Do love this game, man. Always have, always will. I'm really excited about Kitten Space Agency. I think it's going to be super cool. I've messed around some with the pre-alpha stuff after the raging disappointment that was KSP2. I'm really excited about Kitten Space Agency. I think it's going to be fantastic. Those guys' hearts really feel like they're in the right place. But in the meantime, here we still have Kerbal, man. In this game, it can't get old. Like, it just seems impossible for this game to get old. There's always some new challenge to do. You know, go look at Matt Lowndes' channel as an example. I mean, this guy doesn't ever play career mode, and still just never runs out of stuff to do in this game. And I love that. Getting all the sun. Getting almost none of the sun. Sun's what it is. It's unfortunate how much fuel I have out here, but I thought I was going to be circularizing around around Jool and stuff. So I've got all this extra fuel. I'm looking forward to the next phase of this mission once I get this thing in its 30 million orbit. I'm looking forward to the next phase of getting out to 30 and then dipping down, accelerating, getting out to 30 again, doing that 4 times, and then going to Jool all in one mission. I think it's going to be fun. I think that's going to be fun. Always something to do in space. Depending on how all that goes, I might do another launch. Figure out the next mission and go launch. I think I've still got an outstanding mission. I need to dock 2 ships in orbit of Minmus, and I think I've still got time to do it on that contract. I thought I had done it, but I think what it means. So what I did is I did an Apollo-style mission where I had, you know, an upper stage and a lower stage. The upper stage being the lander, and so I flew it out there all as one craft, detached the lander, did the landing on Minmus, and then took off from Minmus and, you know, rendezvous with my booster, my transfer vehicle, and I thought that would satisfy this mission, but it didn't. So I think what it means is I have to have 2 unrelated ships that were not built together and dock them around this. I think that's what it means. So that being the case, I've got ships in orbit. I just need to get them together around this. So I might do that as well after I get this relay stuff going, or I might do it at the same time. I don't know. We'll play with it. My plans are loose, man. Sorry, I know I keep alt tabbing out. This game, actually, I wonder if that'll stop that from happening. Yeah. If I go do something on this monitor real fast. Yeah. So how's it going out there in the chat, folks? Have you played Kerbal? Do you have questions about Kerbal? Are you enjoying orbital dynamics? Did you watch yesterday's SpaceX launch? That was fantastic. They seem to have almost hit every mission parameter on that thing's first flight, so that was really cool. Starship V3 is, I think, really important. I'm not sure what version is planned on the lunar stuff or the Mars stuff, but this Pez dispenser style, where they're able to deploy, I think it's 20 Starlink satellites per launch. I mean, dude, that's amazing. I'm really impressed by that craft, and I think it's going to be one of the most important things ever created in history. Turn off the question mark for now. We'll need that back when we get back to Jool. Okay, so now we have our first relay in place, and it still has plenty of fuel if we want to do some more maneuvering with it. I'm just going to leave this. This is the relay, just this top bit. I have all this maneuvering power that I don't need, which is really unfortunate. But better to have fuel and not need it than the other way around. So it's just like racing that way. So now let's go and find our Jool Relay Satellite 2. Very clever name, I know. And why don't we see if we can't get this bad boy to deploy 4 in that orbit, and then the 5th one at Jool. That's the idea. So at this moment, we're not worried about a Jool transfer because we're not going straight to Jool. We'll have to figure that out later, and honestly, I think that's going to be the big challenge here, is simply figuring that out. But what I want to do is just push out to a 30 million orbit of the sun to sort of match this one, right? So this is, I should probably rename that actually. Yeah, I should rename that now that it's no longer a Jool Relay satellite. So what we're going to do is just pick a spot here. There's the sun, so we'll do it from here. No, we'll do it from here because we're ascending, not descending. Pop this bad boy out. Apoapsis up to 30. I'm not a scientist, guys, but if you have any questions, if you've been interested in this game in the past and want to ask any questions about how orbital dynamics work, how orbits work, how delta V works, ask them away, and I'll do my best to answer them. Again, I'm not a scientist, but I'm relatively smart, and again, pretty experienced in this game, so happy to answer any questions you have, or just have a conversation about spaceflight, or whatever you want to talk about. I need to open up some solar panels, don't I? Each of these also has 2 panels on them, but I'm going to leave those retracted for now. You'll notice the way that I offset these so that they aren't touching. It gives me a nice separation order that I can do these in. And then once they're separated, I'll open up their solar panels. All right, burning in 7. And let's go. It's time go. Yeah. Project Hail Mary fans out there. It's time go. Kind of long burns. Oh, that stage is out of fuel. It's okay. Puff away from there. Up. Bye, stage. Bye. Down. This thing, with all these antennae on it, this thing must be hardcore powerful, because there's not a perfect multiplier effect on range, but when you have more than one communicator comms device on the ship, there is some sort of multiplier effect where there's diminishing returns. Like if you put 100 on there, it's not like you've got 100x the original range, but you do have more. Again, with diminishing returns, it's less per additional dish. But this bad boy might actually be able to do it from Jool by itself. But I think it's important that I build the relay out anyway, so that the network out anyway, so that I can have various craft doing various things around the system without being able to lose, without having to lose power. So got a ways to go. already got our escape by a lot, right? So what is our current apparatus? Oh, I thought we had our curb and escape. I guess not yet. Kind of slow. Kind of slow. It's all right. It's doing the thing. And it's doing an admirable job. Yeah, I've never done a full deep space relay network in this game before. Like I said, I've never really gone past Duna in this game. As I fall in and out of it, played a lot, don't play it for years, then play a lot, and so on. I've never gotten to that point in a career where it's time to go to Jool and all that. I've never been to those planets in this game, and so with my reinvigorated interest in it lately, that might happen. Definitely, we just did a flyby of Jool, which was cool. I've never done that before. It's always kind of neat to do new stuff. New challenges and all of that jazz. Oh, yeah. Yes, they both. Oh, yes, they both. Yes, they both reach for the gun. The gun. The gun. The gun. Oh, yes, they both for the gun. Oh, the gun. Yes. Name that play. We are on our way, baby. 7, 8. It's going to really start accelerating now. 9, 10. Bye, Kerbin. This ship will never see you again. 16. It'll be so fast. Once it gets past the orbit of Kerbin, like you can see the moon here. I've got a relay here, by the way. Like I had done, I like doing polar relays. That way, other bodies can't block it. I was even thinking about doing a polar relay network here, but I don't know. I think it's going to look cooler and be more constantly available if it's on the same plane as the rest. All right, 15. Double that. Trying to match this white circle. That's the other relay that we have out there now. We need to change the name up, but I'm not sure what the best altitude to drop to between deployment is going to be. But I figure what I'll try is I'll just dip down to about the altitude of the sun, and then I'll just come down and then periapsis or at apoapsis I'll raise it back up here. I think that's going to give me enough separation. Might have to do 1 or 2 bullets to do that, but I've got to remember that I've only got 27 years of game time left before this mission expires. I need to get this thing out to Jool. So I don't know. We'll see. I didn't do a lot of pre-planning. And again, I'm not looking to create a perfect star or pentagram here out with this relay network with green lines. I am just trying to get it to where there's good coverage. So over the course of a million years or something, these satellites might hit each other. but I doubt it. Space is big. Space is 5:26, almost there. Of course, once we get out there, we've got to circularize, deploy, and then dive down, back up, circularize, deploy, and so on. You'll see that as we're going. something there for a sec. Okay, so now we have that bad boy on its way out to an altitude of 30 bajillions. It's gonna take forever to get out here though. So let's say goodbye to Kerbin. Already too late? Already too late. Bye, Kerbin. I always like to watch the planet fly away real fast. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put ourselves in prograde. If you're new to Kerbal Space Program or interested in how orbital dynamics work at all, a couple of terms for you: prograde and retrograde. Prograde means the direction of travel. Retrograde means the anti-direction of travel, right? The opposite of the direction of travel. So if I'm driving a car forward, then looking down the road, driving that direction is prograde. If I were to be on that same road and put the car in reverse and start driving backwards, that would be retrograde, right? If I'm, yeah, I hope that makes sense. So everything in space is always in motion, and it's in motion relative to other things. So this craft, right now I'm pointing retrograde, right? Because I've gone out to the end of my orbit without rotating the craft. By clicking this button here, this is going to automatically train the thing on the prograde vector, right? It wants to be pointed prograde so that I can raise the altitude. If I want to decrease my altitude, I would go retrograde. I'm burning against, I'm slowing down relative to the sun in this case. I am on a solar orbit, which means that my speed and altitude is being measured. Its frame of reference is the star itself. And so I am going around here, and if I want to make this periapsis of 13, the lowest altitude versus the sun, if I want this altitude of 13 million 13 billion to raise to 30, then I need to do a prograde burn in the direction of travel to raise the periapsis. That's how you circularize, or retrograde. That's how you decircularize. So I guess you can decircularize in retro or prograde, but if you want to slow down relative to something, then you would burn in retrograde. So that's why you see, if you've ever watched animation, sci-fi movies or whatever, like Firefly, right? Whenever they're about to land on a planet, Firefly, the ship always flips around and then does a burn. It feels like it's burning in reverse. Expanse is another really good example of this. But here all I'm doing is just a prograde burn, meaning I'm burning in the direction of travel versus the sun, so that I can get both my periapsis, my lowest altitude, and my apoapsis, my highest altitude, relative to my frame of reference, the sun. Get it to 30 billion. 30 billion. Billion meters. 30 billion meters. Halfway there. 15. It's going to take quite a bit of fuel to get this job done, actually. This may not. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty well stocked up fuel. I don't think I'm going to struggle with getting this mission done on the fuel that I've got. I'm more worried about time. Again, 2 years have already passed on this mission. It means I've got 25 left. But I think I'm going to be okay. Probably not the most efficient engine for this application, this stage. That's alright. It's alright. We live. We like. Slow. Maybe I go too far. Oh, cool. I got confused by the gigameters. Pardon me. Bum, bum. The jams you're listening to are from City Planner Plays. I don't know if you remember these. He plays in the City Skylines, things like that. I like city builders as well, and there's a pretty popular YouTuber called City Planner Plays. I guess he at least used to be apprenticing a real world city planner, and he plays that game. He makes so much content, I can't imagine he still works full time. But anyway, either he is a musician or he knows some musicians or whatever. But this is a playlist of his called City Planner Plays of royalty-free, streaming-friendly music that's pretty well produced. I mean, it's a little bit elevatory, elevator music sort of deal, but I don't know. It's pleasant to have in the background. It doesn't offend, and I won't get kicked off YouTube for it. See, almost there. I'll let the second one up. These burns are longer than I thought they would be. I'm actually about to run out of fuel on this stage, which is fine. That's fine. I think I've got way more fuel than I need. Once I do dump this stage, that's just less weight I'm carrying around. So there's lots of Delta V hiding in that board. The next stage. Stop there. Let's go ahead and get to the apoapsis and do a little correction burn there to get this from 28 to 30 without forcing our apoapsis too much higher. Baby burn. 90 meters per second left in this stage. Does it? All right, now we will deploy our first satellite, or our first relay. Should I do it? Go ahead and deploy one of these just in case something weird happens when I can't, where it doesn't allow deployment later. Just in case. It's the first time we're trying this, right? I should have tested decoupling on the ground, but I didn't. Let's hit F5 real fast. Do a quick save, just in case weird things happen, and undock. Oh man, I should have done this one first. Dumbass. I just did the one closest to me like an idiot instead of the right one. Why I can't retract that or extend that? Do I have to have a probe core on these things? Oh, please don't tell me I have to have a probe core to make these work. I don't know. Let's see. Is it communicating? I guess it does. Shit. These relays don't work without a probe core, do they? I think I'm just learning. Well, oh, hold on. No, is it working? let's accelerate away. Let's see if this is directly connecting or if it's going through the other ship. Actually, I think this worked. I'll just have to deploy. Okay, I think we're good. I guess I have to have a probe core to expose, to operate this. So, lesson learned. For the next ones, we will. For the next ones, we will properly extend both. Go to our tracking station. I want to make sure the tracking station is all the way upgraded too. It's worth checking real fast. I think it is. Come on. Fully upgraded, yeah. Okay. So let's look at our comm relay so far, or our network so far. Okay, good. So even though that new relay is almost on the other side of the solar system relative, Kerbin versus the sun, we are in contact with it. So, or at least, hold on, what is that? That's that. Okay, this is the one we just deployed. So let's do some renaming here. That's what we need to do. We need to do some renaming here. This should be renamed to what should I call it? I guess just Solar Relay 1. I don't get too imaginative with these things. Solar Relay 1. And it's Relay Accept. Now, one of these is, let's see which one this is. I guess I could look at the mass. Okay, this is the actual ship. So let's rename this to, oh man, I couldn't do that. Let's rename this one to, like, I don't know, relay bus, relay deployer, relay dumper offer. Deployment craft, and we'll go ahead and call that one probe for the moment. That's what it is at the moment. And then this one is the actual satellite, right? Tiny little guy. That's 0.37, yeah. So we'll call this Solar Relay. Ah, pushing buttons I don't need to push. So this one will rename to Solar Relay 2. Excellent. Okay. So that helps with our naming conventions. I think this is all going to work out pretty nicely. Let's go back to the deployment craft now. About the orbit of Duna, do an orbit, and then go back up. Okay, that stage is out of fuel, so we'll go ahead and dump that. Sweet, kind of cool. Is that going to stay there? Okay. That was such a graphic. I think we're going to be okay. I think. I guess I don't know, but I think. I think the nerve is going to be good. Doing what we wanted to do here without being too terrible on fuel. It sips it pretty lightly, pretty carefully. Does it not use oxidizer? Could I have gotten rid of all that oxidizer? Huh. Okay, lesson learned. I'm carrying a bunch of weight that I don't need to. Keep on going down to about 20. Look at this number here. Altitude variance. Rocking my thunder hat, one of my thunder hats today, because the boys hope we are going to win another championship. How's the stream coming through, by the way? Is everything good? Sound good? Check out the first. 5. Sorry, I know that keeps happening. Go ahead and knock full screen for a second. Gotta just check this. Oh, has there not been audio? Give me a second. Has my microphone been way too quiet this whole time? Hello? It feels way too quiet. Why is that so quiet? Why is that so quiet? Everything looks fine in the settings. Test your microphone. Manage sound devices. Jabra Evolve. Got the right thing on. Why is that so quiet? Let's look at this. In OBS, like I've got this selected and turned the hell up. Why then is it so quiet on the stream? Is it so quiet on the stream? Now I hear. Is it because I had the monitoring on? Oh, now I hear. Is it because I had the monitoring on? Huh. Hopefully that's been okay for you guys. I hope that that hasn't actually been so muted this entire time. Huh. Hopefully that's been okay for you guys. I hope that that hasn't actually been so muted this entire time. Yeah, okay. We'll stop hearing me now. But wow, does that mean I just did like an hour of silent streaming? If you're in the chat now, would you tell me whether it sounds okay? As I think we just did an hour of silent streaming, like a noob, like a goob, like a maroon. Well, if you're just joining us, and if I have indeed been streaming silently for an hour, here's our mission. We need to get a relay into a very specific orbit around Jool. Now, in my years of playing this game, I've actually never been to Jool, never been out there. And so here we are wanting to put a relay around there, and I got it out there. I got an intercept. I got 2 Jool when I realized that I was out of communications range um, with KS with home base with Kerbin. And so I decided, well, I guess I need to build a relay network. So the relay that was supposed to be in orbit right now of Jool is actually in orbit of the sun. I basically just made it a solar relay, and I'm putting a bunch of relays at the 30 billion meter mark. And I just deployed a second one. So I've got a craft here that I've created that is where the hell is it? Am I having bugs? Are there bugs today? What the hell? Tracking station? We've lost our spaceship. Solar Relay 2's relay deployment craft. Let's try to load it again. That was a weird bug. Never seen that before. Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. So now we have an apoapsis of 30 and a periapsis of 22. So what that's going to allow me to do is to sort of space these things out. So I've got this one here. I've got another one already deployed elsewhere at the same 30 million orbit. And now I have this uh, elliptical orbit that when I do a rotation of is just going to put me at a different distance. And so I want to have these roughly equidistant, but I'm not trying to make like a perfect star or anything. But I want to make it equidistant as much as possible. Audio check. Okay, good. So I'm trying to create a relay network so that when I send the top section, this bit at the top here is the actual end game relay that I want to have around Joule. These other four are the ones that I'm deploying on the way out at this 30 at this 30 gigameter range. I forgot that I also have a refueler around Duna. I can't remember what the mission was. I obviously landed there and had a refueler for sending the crew home and left the refueler in orbit. It probably doesn't have any fuel on it, but there's a craft there that has an antenna on it, and so that's why you see this sort of fading, poor connection here. My hope is that by having this relay network out here, that we will have all craft always in constant communication. Um, I can totally imagine that if I go beyond Joule and start messing around with Elu, that I will need to have an additional ring uh, of relays. But I'm hoping I don't necessarily have to. I think 30 is pretty damn far. Joule 69, 70, 30. I'm still worried it might not be enough. Like I'm kind of thinking about putting only three in this orbit and then going out even farther and putting the remaining couple there, like on the outside of Drez's orbit. Kind of thinking about doing that. Okay, we're at our periapsis now. So we'll get back out to our apoapsis and deploy
Hello.
this one. Oh, hello. Turn off this. Hello.
Look,
I'm actually streaming on YouTube at the moment. You're live in front of the world. But I'm just playing some Kerbal Space Program.
nice.
What's up, Mr. Calusa?
Just hanging out.
You should come run SNR tonight and participate in the Team Boss 300.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, sponsoring my first race.
Sweet.
Sweet. Sweet. Man, I decided I wanted to get a little practice in, so I was doing an official yesterday at Charlotte, and I just got cleaned the hell out. Just a few laps into the race, um, just cleaned out, just thrown into the wall with reckless abandon, and I was pretty furious about it.
Yeah, it happens. It sucks.
All right, so we'll get back out to our apowapsis here. And then we'll burn prograde again. I don't think it's any surprise that most Kerbal Space Program content creators uh, do edited videos instead of live streams. It's probably not the most exciting watching, is it?
Could say that for Flight Sim too.
Yeah. But there's a huge live streaming community with Flight Sim.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'd bet you that's because of all the time you have to have conversations, like, while you're cruising at altitude, you're just chatting. All right, let's point prograde and get the periapsis back up to 30, and then I think I will deploy the last couple out beyond Dres. I think that's what I'm going to do.
What would you think about doing a TCR endurance event
Uh, how long is the event?
4 hours?
I'm going to say a maybe. My problem right now is with the house on the market. I need to be able to leave the house at any given time uh, with 2 hours notice, and so I've been sort of shying away from endurance stuff until I'm at least under contract. We get showings that get scheduled with very little warning.
Yeah, for sure.
When is it?
No worries. Um, 2 weekends from now, or actually, it's next weekend.
Hmm. I probably shouldn't commit.
Okay.
Thanks for the invite, though. Where's it at? Thruxton?
The
That's the
Ruxton.
Thruxton thing? Thruxton. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll put this one at 30 and then I'll do two more at 60. And I think that'll give me enough of a network. Can always launch another mission if I need more coverage. $30 gigameters. I love that word.
Gigameters or gigachad?
Gigameters. Gigachads have gigameters.
That's right.
Giggity. Get ready to deploy this little guy. This little guy. 26, 27. Almost there. Stay on target.
I've never heard you do that voice.
The Star Wars thing. Stay on
Okay.
target. These burns are so long. 28.5, zero point 0.6. I think this is a pretty good coverage. That's pretty good. We'll deploy there. In space, that's pretty good is good enough, right? Let's go ahead and quick save and
What could
then
go wrong?
deploy. Undock. Shoo shoo. Let's boink it out there a little bit. And now we've got another relay. Okay, how much delta V is it going to take for me to get to 60 from 30? Yeah, I think this is going to work nicely. A 1,000 meters per second to get up to this next altitude. I don't know that I'm going to have enough fuel here, Bryce, to get the relays deployed and go to Jool. I might have to abandon deploying the last relay.
I believe in you.
There's no good reason to. For this to work, there will always have to be another relay within 30 gigameters. Should I go all the way to 60 or should I go to like 45? Play it a little safer. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Hopefully that means I'm also using a little less fuel. Fuel.
You will?
Fuel. Fuel. You see all that stuff about Kyle Busch? I'm
Yeah, it
following that.
sucks.
Man, I think he must have had like, I don't know, tuberculosis or bad pneumonia or something like that. Um,
The family released the cause.
oh, they did?
Yeah, it was pneumonia into
Oh,
sepsis.
mm, man, that sucks. He's probably just
Crazy.
being like we all are, big dumb men, I don't need to go to the hospital. It's just a cough, and
Exactly.
it goes too far. It sucks. He was always one of my favorite drivers. I've always loved watching him race.
A lot of people love to hate him, It's
Sure.
just entertaining.
Well, he's so talented, you know.
It's just crazy that he just won the truck race
I
on
know.
Friday and
Yeah.
that's it. Did you see his interview after the race though?
Yeah. You never know your last. Yeah. Yeah, I was watching that race. I've been watching most of the truck races this year. It's been some really good racing in there series.
I've watched every NASCAR race this season from all series.
You have watched all of them?
Yeah,
Wow. I don't think I've done that. I've watched all the cup
not
races.
not the race. Sorry, not the races. The highlights.
Oh, okay. I've watched most of the truck and O'Reilly races. I've watched all of the Cup races.
I think so.
Almost there. Yeah, I don't think I've got enough fuel to do all the relays and I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just think I might have to launch yet another mission or try to get the original one back to Jool. I'll try to get creative later if I run into problems. But I think I'm going to split that down to 50, not 60. 46. Come on, 46. Give me the 46, 46, 46. Is that the same as the altitude of Drez? No, okay, it's beyond. That's what I want. How much is it going to cost me to get circularized? 640. Half of my remaining delta V in this stage. I might need to go ahead and launch another ship. We're flying in space. It's interesting that it's not relaying. Maybe it is. Well, no, I guess not. It's connected direct to the Space Center. If Jool's at 71, there isn't necessarily always going to be a relay between Jool and Kerbin in this setup so far. Don't think I've quite cracked this properly. Oh, that's the other relay. Okay. I want to see if this will connect there once it gets out of direct connection. Why is that staying connected direct when there's a relay right here? Well, what are we thinking, chat? Do I have enough fuel to deploy 2 more relays at 50 gigameters and get the actual Jool relay to Jool with the delta V I have remaining, with 2400 meters per second of delta V? I'm not so sure I do. I think I might end up having to launch another craft. I need to go back and look after I deploy this one. I need to go back and look in the tracking center and see what the relay network looks like now, because it's weird that from the perspective of this craft, why am I connecting direct to KSP when there's a relay right here and another one right there that would, I think, improve my signal. Like those are connected, right? So I need to go back and look at the tracking center and make sure everything's like live, because I think it's possible that these relays, no, they have to be working. Look, that one's, but that one isn't showing. Okay, I am worried that these things have to have probe cores on them to work. That's possible. So we'll go look at the tracking center in just a moment and see what we see. You know, we can cheat. Hey, Gemini, in Kerbal Space Program, do relays need to have a probe core to work, or can they just be a dish with batteries? Okay, they don't. Yeah, we're good. We're good. But I still think it's going to take another craft. or going back and looking at the original craft and seeing what kind of fuel it's got left. Because if it's got enough, then I can probably take it back to Jool from its 30 gigameter orbit right now, if it has enough gas. $41, $42. Almost there. I'm hoping that the delta V requirement to get to Jool's orbit from 50 is not going to be a whole lot. Okay, that's about right. Let's go ahead and deploy this guy. Go away. All right. Deployed. Now, let's do a little planning here. If I were, you know what? First, let's go to the tracking center real fast. Tracking station. I want to see if this is building out the way I want it. Right? Do I have green lines everywhere? Okay, good. Let's turn on. The relays are there. If I look at solar relay 2, is it connected? Like, why isn't that showing a green line? Why aren't those two showing anything between them? That's worrying me. See, I think it does require a probe core. It's not out of range. Or is that single antenna status idle? Do you have to activate the antenna? There's things I don't know sometimes. It's bugging me. I don't like that I don't see a green line there. I don't think it's working. I think we have a design flaw here. Let's go ahead and try to go to Jool and see. But I think I might have to scrap all of this. But maybe the 2 dishes will be enough to communicate directly to KSP. I mean, it's already red, but we'll see. Let's try it. Add maneuver. Let's see if we can't get a Jool intercept here. No idea what a good transfer window is going to be. Oh. From this altitude. There we go. What's it going to take? 397. What's my periapsis? Oh, that's wacky. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. Let's try it. I just think I'm going to have to launch new relays. I don't think those are working the way I want. And either they don't have enough power or you have to activate the dish prior to. Like I'm noticing antenna status idle. I've just never had to activate an antenna. It's not like it's an engine. The whole comms thing always makes unmanned missions sometimes even more challenging than manned missions. Or Kerbin missions. Comms, communications relays.
How does that play into the game?
For you to be able to control something robotic that does not have a person in it, so an unmanned probe like the one I'm flying right now, you have to have a radio connection, right? Just like if we were to turn Voyager's antenna around or camera around, take another shot of the solar system, we would have to send it that command. Well, if you're out of range with the transmitter you have, then you can't send it that command, which means you can't control it, right? And so I have an unmanned probe here that is effectively trying to get to the orbit of Jupiter, right? It's the in-game Jupiter, but it's really, really far from Earth or from Kerbin, and I'm not sure that my relay network thing that I've built this correctly. I've never done this before, and I think I've messed it up. I think I might have messed it up. I think I might be going downstairs soon to watch Project Hail Mary again.
What is that?
Sci-fi movie was released a few months ago. It just came out on streaming and stuff the other day, and I saw it in the theaters 3 times, and I've watched it already 1 time since it came out. For like online viewing, and it's just one of my favorite movies the last several years. Project Hail Mary. Waiting, waiting, waiting. 2 more years. Okay, how does this one not have... Man, I made all kinds of mistakes. Oh well, live and learn. Can't transfer that fuel, shit. Yeah, I can't do it through a stack separator. That makes sense. Almost there. Well, almost to the maneuver node. not even almost to the planet. But yeah, I don't think this works. I don't understand why, but I don't think this is working. Probably need to do a little research, a little learning, a little reading, a little watching, a little studying. Hmm. Yeah, I hate that I'm not getting to run a bunch of these endurance races, man. Like the majors is happening. I really wanted to run the majors 24 this year. I wasn't able to do Nürburgring. Just been too damn busy. Too many commitments.
Yeah, it happens. You're not missing much, just wrecking.
Well, I'm able to do that myself. I was on a pretty nice upswing there for a couple seasons, and lately I've been on a downswing again, especially on the oval side. I haven't been doing enough racing lately in general, but on the oval side I can't catch a break. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's see if we can't go get to Jool.
I've been trying to get better at oval.
The leagues that I run make me better at oval. You can't control the chaos that is officials. You know, if someone decides they're going to right hook you into the wall on lap 13, they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The V Speed broadcasts, anytime they talk about me, it's always the same story. Man, Ben's, he's got speed. We see it every week. He's got speed. He just doesn't get the finishes. He always seems to get caught up in something. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough delta V to circularize. Nothing's going right. I think that's pretty good. Actually, it's almost circularized with that intercept. I actually love that. So when I get there, Hey, what's up there? Is it Olcom? Good to see you, man. No, it's not sandbox. It's career mode. But I think I'm career screwing upping. I'm trying to build a relay network. So the idea was I have a mission to deploy a specific, specifically equipped relay in orbit around Jool in a very specific orbit. And so I got one out there and then realized I didn't have connection to KSP even with the biggest dish. And so now I've got to, I've been trying to build a relay network, but I'm not sure what I've done wrong. You can see here that I've got a network of relays that I've been building out at 30 gigameters, and then I was doing some more at 50. And they don't seem to be communicating directly with Kerbin, even though they're well within range, or with each other. So when I look at it from here, or when I look at it from the Space Center, the tracking center, it's not showing. So not sure why not. So I'm just doing a last ditch effort here. I'm taking this now, this ship that still has one extra relay on it that I just realized I forgot to put solar panels on anyway, so I wouldn't be able to deploy this. So I'm just hoping that I've got enough delta V here to circularize around Jool, and then maybe I can figure out something from there. I don't know. But I've only got 383 meters per second left, but I've got a fantastic capture here around the planet that's almost circular already. It's just way off the plane, and so I need to fix that on a capture burn, and also try to get into this specific orbit. And I'm just not sure I've got the gas to do it. We'll see. But still in connection right now with the two dishes, so that's encouraging. I think it's just a fuel problem. I'm hoping that this relay, which is functioning, because that one's got a probe core on it, I think that's why it's functioning. Or maybe it's a power thing. Maybe the two solar panels isn't enough power for these things. But still connected directly, and we're almost to the orbit of Duna, or to the orbit of Jool. Like at the moment, we are 63 out there. 64, so it's not a good connection, but it's a connection. I'm curious if I had just left all 5 dishes on there and gone straight to Duna, would that have done it? Or not Duna, I keep saying Duna. Jool. What's up, Chunky? Good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping by. I'm going to relabel this stream to Old Man Screws Up Relay Network. Fails. So I think if I fail this time, I won't be able to try this mission again. But I do have a quick save with the extra, with I think 3 relays. Oh, 3 antenna. So maybe if this doesn't work, if I lose connection when I get to Jool again, then I'll try one more attempt with an extra dish on. I think I can. If I'm not mistaken, my last quick save should enable me to do that. But I expect to either lose connection or run out of fuel here. One of those two. And there's just lost connection. Shit. And that guy is on the other side now. But maybe he'll come around. I don't know. We'll see. But clearly the relay isn't working because I should be connecting through relay 4 here. And then from 4 to 3 or from 4 to Duna, right? I mean, why aren't they working? You know, still got a tenuous connection here. I might be able to make it happen. Full probe control. That's good. Looks like I'm lucky in that they're aligning relatively well. That might get out of range again by the time we actually get there. I don't know. Okay. So now that we're here, like, we've still got connection. Let's circularize. Let's at least just get in orbit. And then we can figure some stuff out from there, but that'll be a major accomplishment in itself. Where's the planet? And I guess I'm still pretty far out, but it's a gas giant. Expected to be able to see it. Anyway, let's burn retrograde for just a sec here. Okay, I think this is going to work. I'm going to go ahead and get down to periapsis and burn retrograde. Get captured. Oh, there it is. What up, Jool? It's a great capture. I probably should have made a tweak to make it happen on the right plane, but it would have been a lot less expensive on fuel probably if I'd done it way out there, but it's okay. It's part of the experiment. Are we going to have connection when we get there? I think we will, based on Kerbin coming at us right now, and also this relay. Okay, there's Jool. What up? We've still got 380 meters per second. Okay, yeah, we're definitely going to be able to capture here. Let's see if we can also change our plane. What am I at? 446 and a lot. Problems. $572, not enough fuel. Because if I detach, okay, let's get as close to circular as we can here. And you know what, we'll also go ahead and burn Not happy with it. Did that mission just expire? No, okay, it's still there. So what this does mean, though, is I've got a pretty powerful relay in orbit of the planet. So that's good. And I might be able to take relay 1 and get it out here. It's possible. I'm about to lose my circularization, though, my orbit. Running out of fuel, at least in this stage. Okay, so my bet is if I detach this, I will lose. If I detach this one, which means that goes with it, I bet you I lose connection. Because with 2 dishes, I've got 16%. I wonder if I had just left all of them on there, if all 5 dishes would have been enough without the relay network at all. How much time do I have left in the meeting, in the mission? Oh, it's almost over. Yeah, I'm not going to get it. There's no way I can get another craft out here in time, and there's not enough. Well, all right. I mean, what's the worst that can happen here? We're gonna try something. I am going to quick save and detach, which means, oh good, we're still connected. 1%, but we're still connected. Hey, all right. This bad boy has 1100 meters per second on it. Let's see if that's enough for me to be able to get down into the right orbit here. 256. Try to be efficient here. $700, yeah, it's not going to be anyway. Don't think it's going to happen. Don't think we're gonna make it. It's riveting. Riveting and suspenseful to see if we will. Can't believe we still have control. That's great. And it happened again. My ship unrendered itself. Okay, get ready for the burn. Oh, have we lost control? No, full probe control. So now my worry is when I get down to the near the appropriate altitude, do I have enough fuel to circularize at the appropriate altitude? No, I don't think I will. Call it there. It's good enough for now. Let's go ahead and get down to periapsis. This will be the closest I've ever been to Jool before, though. It's exciting. Fly by all the moons. And we'll try to plan a really smart maneuver node in here. Pretty. All right. Still have control. Pretty close on the nodes. Hey, we might be able to get this done. Oh, no, we can't. Most definitely not. Short of fuel. Which means now it's on this dangerous orbit. It's going to end up hitting some moon or another. Let's just put it on this weird elliptical inclined orbit, and that way we've got a relay out here. So, did we accomplish the mission? Nope. Did we create a relay network? Nope. Did we get something in the orbit of Jool? Yeah. Okay, so accomplishment, yay. But given that it's career mode, the financial implications of what just happened is pretty bad. Oh, of course, I went the wrong way. It's all good. And we're out of gas. Well, we do have a relay around Dune, or around Arrakis. Jool. Happy about that. Nothing else is good. All right. For those of you who hung out, thanks for hanging out. Go fly a spaceship or